Glucose is a really important monosaccharide, and when we use the term glucose, we are always referring to D-glucose, which is the naturally occurring enantiomer of glucose. It is the most abundant monosaccharide found in nature. It's also called dextrose, and when we talk about blood sugar, it is the concentration of glucose in our blood that we're talking about. It's found naturally in fruits, vegetables, corn syrup, and people with diabetes have problems getting glucose from their bloodstream into their cells so that glycolysis can occur. Glucose doesn't exist as a monosaccharide, but it also exists as part of disaccharides. For example, sucrose, which is table sugar, is comprised of glucose as well as fructose. Lactose, which is a disaccharide, contains glucose as well as galactose. And amylose, amylopectin, glycogen, and cellulose are all polysaccharides, and they are comprised only of glucose units. Galactose is another important monosaccharide. It is a diastereomer of glucose, and the disaccharide lactose is made of one molecule of galactose and one molecule of glucose, and this disaccharide lactose is found in dairy products. Galactose differs from glucose on one chiral carbon, carbon 4. Diastereomers that differ in just one chiral center are known as epimers. And the human body actually can convert galactose into glucose with an enzyme known as epimerase. So let's look in more detail at epimers. In the center of the slide is a Fischer projection of D-glucose. If we look to the right, we see the Fischer projection of D-galactose, and we see that every single chiral carbon, except for C4, has the exact same structure as D-glucose. So D-galactose is known as an epimer at carbon 4 because that's the only place where the hydroxyl and hydrogen are not arranged the same way as in D-glucose. Another epimer of D-glucose is D-mannose, and D-mannose is actually found in cranberries, and D-mannose is an epimer at C2. We notice that in C3, C4, and C5, D-mannose and D-glucose have exactly the same chiral centers, but at C2, they're mirror images of one another.